Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the shed. Apologies, it's been a while since I put a video out, but I've been extremely busy working in the garden, put a new concrete path down to the shed, and I've done some decking as well. So not a lot's been happening. I've been taking advantage of the nice weather, getting the garden sorted out and also riding bikes. Not a lot's changed since the last time you were here. However, there is a new bike in the stable. So I'll quickly show you that. So as you can see, the C90 is still here. Obviously the Tenere, the Honda Wave. But they've been mating, so we've now got a Honda Innova. More on that to come. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but it was cheap and I had to have it. Why not? But yeah, we think of, I've got some ideas for a project for that, but we'll talk a bit more about that later. So today in the shed, what we're going to be doing is taking this Cub engine apart. So it's actually a Honda S65 engine, and if you watched Pez's channel, you'll know that we restored my friend Phil's Honda S65. We left the engine alone, apart from I changed the clutch, but it quickly turned out that second gear was no good. We've since found out is a common problem on the S65. So the video will be titled Cub Engine overhaul, because it is essentially a Cub engine with a few minor differences, but it's off his S65. So today we're going to tear into the engine and actually see what's wrong with the second gear. Right, onto the engine. So what I'm going to do is explain what I'm going to do in each section and then probably put it on time lapse. So if you do want to see more detail, then slow it down. If I feel there's detail required, I will film it live. But the first thing we need to do before we tear into the engine is get rid of all the ancillaries. So first off is the carb, and this is one of the major differences. It's actually an oil-fed, oil-heated carb. So it's one of the major differences. So I'll take that off complete. Kickstart needs to come off, foot pegs need to come off, and I've already taken the oil out. Okay, let's get on to that. Okay, with all that lot removed, the next job is we're going to remove the head and the barrel. So first job is undo the 10mm here, which undoes, I'll span it around a bit quick, undoes the inspection cover here, and we're just going to tighten the engine up. Don't really need to do it for disassembly. I just want to see the markings, so when I reassemble I know what they look like. Yeah, so let's get that lot whipped off. Okay, so thought I'd bring you back in for a look. So, head's all removed, timing gear all removed. Look at this little diddy piston. This has definitely been apart before. That is a standard piston. It's got ART written on it. Looks like it's got new rings. There is one quite deep one, but it's below the piston travel. Quite a deep score in the bore. And the reason I know it's been apart before is one of the dowel pins is missing from the head. Yeah. So we're not doing a full rebuild, so I'm not going to take the piston rings off, but I will deglaze the piston and clean everything up before I put it back together. Next, we get the clutch casing off and remove all the gear from that, and then we do the following side, take the stator or magneto off, flywheel, whatever you want to call it, and yeah, won't be long before we're splitting the cases. Okay, so that's the clutch out, the drive wheel off. Now we need to remove some of this gear. So we're going to remove the back of the gear selector drum. So you can see first, neutral, second, third, fourth. This is obviously the spring tensioner arm. We're going to take that off. We're going to take the gear change mechanism out, remove the oil pump because that's in the way, and also release the kickstart spring and take that mechanism out as well. So let's crack on with that then, shall we? Right, we're back. So, like I said, all the clutches are gone. Magneto. Now, I've taken the magneto off, and I wanted to take the generator plate off, but as you can see, these are really, really burred over. They're only very short screws. They're probably only about 12mm long. The GIS screwdriver won't move it. I've tried with an impact, they won't move. I can remove everything. I can split the engine and leave this in anyway, but I wanted to have a look at the cam gear, so I may come back once I've split the cases and drill these out. But if I don't remove it, it doesn't need a new gasket and a seal in the middle as well. So let's crack on and see. Oh look, Woodruff key fell out, and get these cases split. Okay guys, cases are apart. I've taken the crank out. I will probably drill these bolts out for the generator so I can clean the engine. As you can see, it's absolutely filthy. Here's the other side of the case. Now, I've already spotted it. There's something down there. I spy my little eye. Can you see it? Something moving around. Oh, hang on a minute. That's not even metal, it's alley. We've got something broken there, but the weird thing is it's aluminium. Didn't pick up with a magnet. Anyway, I'll dig in a bit further, take this gearbox out, and we'll see if we can figure out where it's come from. Okay, so gearbox is out. Two halves here. This is the piece of metal that I found in the bottom of the engine. Now, the strange thing is it is aluminium. Now, the only thing that's inside the engine that is aluminium is the clutch basket. Aside from the cases, there is no other aluminium in the engine. I've gone through both cases, front and back, and I can't figure out where it's come from, but it's definitely snapped off of somewhere. I haven't checked the clutch basket properly, but I can't see it missing from there either. Anyway, onto the gear. So this is the output shaft. All four gears are fine. The second gear that's known to warn is on the counter shaft, which I've got here, and it's this little one at the top. So it may be hard to pick up, but there's two dogs on the gear, and they slide in to what is like third gear here, and that's what turns. So there's a little bit of movement, actually a little backlash, but they've actually worn out. Now what I will do is I will remove this gear from the shaft and put a picture of this against what a new one should look like, and hopefully you'll understand the wear. What's left? Well, I need to have a good tidy up. I'm going to put all these engine cases through the parts washer. First I need to drill out the two screws holding this plate on, because that really does need to come off, and I would really like to find where that bit of aluminium come from. Right, so I've removed second gear from the shaft, and you can see these two teeth on the gear are really, really worn out. I will put a picture up now of what they're supposed to look like. I'll do a side-by-side comparison of this one and a new one. As you can see, very worn. Okay, so I've got to get some parts on order. I'm going to need a second gear and a gasket kit. I believe I've got a top end gasket kit for it, because I bought it when I originally took the engine apart. All the other gaskets should be early C50, C70, C90 for the engine cases. It's only the top end, which will be the 65cc gaskets that I will need. Everything else should be generic, but I will double check, see what I've got, and put them all on order. So next time you see me, I should be cleaning all this lot up. Right, there we have it, everything cleaned up and all looking nice, ready for the rebuild. I swear it takes longer to actually clean everything and get rid of all the old gasket off the maintenance surfaces than it does actually to strip the engine. But that's everything cleaned. A couple of things to note: I deglazed the piston, and it says on the top it's had a rebore. It's 0.25 bigger, so it's had a small rebore on it, so that proves that someone has been in there before, but also they did forget to put a dowel pin in. I've decarboned the head, that's looking a lot nicer. Everything's ready for a rebuild, just now waiting on parts. But the best bit I did find was this little bit of aluminium that was floating around in the engine. It came from the cam cover. It's actually missing, don't know if you can see it off the back of here. So nothing to worry about, that's where it should go. Non-essential part, we'll still work without it, but at least we know where it came from, and luckily it didn't do any damage to the engine. So that'll be it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do, give us a like, subscribe and all that good stuff. I'll be waiting for parts, so I'll see you in the next one.